Coming up, Saluki fans are gearing up for round 2 of the FCS playoffs when SIU faces the University of Idaho. We'll have details in a live report.
Another group of hostages held by Hamas has been released. I'm Natalie Brand at the White House with details of how the U.S. is helping to negotiate the extended pause in fighting.
And we'll show you how to avoid scammers encouraging online donations this Giving Tuesday. Heartland News at 5 starts now.
Your first alert station, KFVS 12. Heartland News at 5 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. After a big win last weekend, the SIU football Salukis are spending this week getting ready to play the University of Idaho in the second round of the FCS playoffs.
Colin Bailey standing by live in Carbondale to tell us how the hometown fans are getting ready for Saturday's big game. But we're going to kick things off with Grant because it's a long drive to Moscow, Idaho, for any fans hitting the roads. And Grant, what kind of weather will they face?
Well, first off, let's talk about the game time and time around the game. You see the graphic I have behind me here? You see what this is? Yeah, it's snow. Now, this is for Moscow, Idaho, which is in the northwestern parts of Idaho. You could see Friday, snow, Saturday, snow, Sunday, rain and snow mix. So if you're going to be headed up that way, yeah, expect some snow. Now, the good news, temperatures don't look that bitterly cold. So this is one of those big flake, wet type of snows where it's not too terribly cold, so you don't need the huge jacket, but could be some issues with travel. So let's talk about that. If you're traveling from the Heartland up towards Moscow, you got to take this Interstate 90 more than likely. Let's talk about snowfall accumulation. You can see Spokane. Now, many of you may be flying in there either to Boise or Spokane. If you're flying into Spokane, you're still going to have to drive through some snow. And you can see here in Moscow, we're expecting up to about 2 to 3 inches of wet snow during the weekend. Now, the higher elevations will have much more snow, and some of the roads go through some of those high mountain passes. So give me your first alert. Snowy, cold, but not bitterly cold. Oh, good news. The game's inside. Yeah, they got a dome. Hey, we are dry right now here on First Alert Doppler Network and cold. More on that coming up.
Thank you, Grant. We learned Saluki players will be flying out of Veterans Airport Friday morning.
And a lot of Saluki fans will be making plans to watch the big game back here in the Heartland. Colin Bailey's live now in Carbondale with more information.
Hey, Kathy and Jeff, you can actually see the lights around behind me. The team's out there practicing right now. It feels a little like winter out here, but it also feels that big game buzz here on campus. I got a chance to speak with some players, community members, and students, and everyone is ready to cheer on the Salukis.